Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Finger Guns podcast with Tony, Dave, and James. I am your here for an interview intro podcast host, Jimmy, and I'm here with
Dave, if you're nasty.
hell yeah. We are Sans Tony today. It was a Dave and Jimmy solo adventure into this one where we had the privilege to talk to the star and producer and director, two separate people, of the film A Nice Indian Boy. We got to sit down with Karan Soni and Roshan Sethi to talk about their film.
Yes. It premiered at South by Southwest last year, and it's finally in theaters, or at least in limited release today, April 4th. And it's, I guess it's a romantic comedy / drama / coming of age film / everything all at once, and generational trauma and cultural
norms, I guess, versus where you live now, kind of thing. I mean, it deals with Karan Soni's playing a gay Indian man who falls in love with another Indian man, and
who's actually an adopted white guy.
Yes, who's actually an adopted white guy played by Jonathan Groff, and they go through the sort of the trials, tribulations, the cultural impacts, and navigating, being in a sort of a quote unquote modern relationship, coming from a maybe less than modern culture. And it has romantic comedy leanings. It has some drama elements. It has some light moments, some dark moments, some hilarious moments that made me fall out of my chair at a couple of points.
There's a good 9/11 joke.
Excellent 9/11 joke.
I love a good 9/11 joke.
Yeah. But the characters I felt are so well realized. Karan Soni and Jonathan Groff have such a great chemistry together, and
they're so delightful.
Yeah.
They're so delightful. You're like cheering for them, and you're like, this guy's fucking a geek. But I love him so much. I just want to hug him, and it's not who you think I'm talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and it just like even when because it is a little bit of a romantic comedy, so there's always that sort of trouble bit in the middle. You're still like you're rooting for them all the way through. You want them to figure things out and for things to come back around. And I just honestly had such a great time watching the film, and I honestly had such a great time talking to the two of them as well. We dove into the film's themes a little bit more. There's a pretty significant reference to another Indian film known as DDLJ, and it plays a heavy role throughout the entire film. So it's we talked a bit about influences on Indian cinema and just ways certain scenes played out, and honestly it was just a fun conversation throughout.
Yeah, and we got a quick little discussion going about I'm trying to find her name, Zarna Garg as well, who plays the mother in the film, and she is a riot. And her chemistry with Harish Patel, who plays the father, is also quite wonderful. It's just so good. It's just a wonderful film all around. You kind of know where it's going, or you have an idea where it's going. And the second act or the second half of the film is plays out a little differently than I thought it would. But it doesn't make it any less good. It's just very heartwarming and very funny. And I love the ending. And I hope that this film finds an audience.
Absolutely.
We kind of need Karan to continue being a lead.
Absolutely.
I love him in his supporting roles, but I love him as a lead too.
Yeah, absolutely. And this kind of demonstrated that he's got it and can continue to do things. And
he's got the sauce.
He's got the sauce. So if you can find this film at limited release, so have a look at your local Cineplexes, because that's probably where you'll maybe find it. But if you can find it playing in a small theater or a theater near you, go check it out. It's honestly a good time. You won't regret going to see it. You will just have a nice time, and support this film. It deserves it. It really, really does.
And you'll get to meet a nice Indian boy.
Exactly. But for now, have a listen as we have a nice chat with Karan, Soni, and Roshan Sethi.
Hi guys, how are you today?
Good. Good to meet you.
Excellent, lovely to meet you as well. We're big fans.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
thank you.
Honestly, I just
fun.
finished up going through all of Miracle Workers the other day, and I'm such a huge
awesome.
fan. So it's really really a privilege to be able to talk to you today. It's great.
Oh my god, that's so sweet. Thank you so much. What a dream job. That was such a fun, crazy show.
Yeah.
That's crazy. We got paid to just goof around like kids. So weird. Yeah.
It was the best.
I was with my cousins yesterday, and I was like, he's Dopinder from Deadpool, and they're like, oh my god, we love that guy.
Okay, great. I'll take it. Yeah. That's right. I love it.
We know him from more things, but I'm glad they know.
Of course, no. Listen, as long as they know anything, I'll take it because I'm used to them knowing nothing. So I remember when Deadpool came out, I was living in the same apartment building that we're in now, and my neighbors couldn't care less. And then the first movie came out, and then they were like, "You're an actor," and I'm like, "I've been an actor for years, but here we go. It's the first thing that you care about."
Well, thanks for taking the time out to talk to us today. This is your second film together as actor and director. What were the differences making this film versus 7 Days beyond, COVID?
Well, we're real life romantic partners. So we established a rhythm on 7 Days that we really got to take advantage of on this one. This is a highly personal movie. We're gay Indians in love, making a movie about gay Indians in love. So it was a great way actually to reflect on our own relationship. And as corny as it sounds, I really felt that the movie somehow contains a piece of our love in a tangible form, even though it's not literally about our story. It somehow feels metaphorically or emotionally or figuratively about it. So it was an amazing experience, and I'm trying to hold on to that experience as we release it because it's so easy to get lost in all the reading reviews and all the nonsense that comes up. But not to enjoy the experience of sharing this little piece of ourselves with everybody.
Amazing. Well, we loved the film and we loved 7 Days as well. So
thank you.
Both great films. This one came out at it premiered at South by last year, and it's coming out in a little over a year since then. Do you feel differently about it now than you did then?
Well, America has changed in some way.
Just a little bit.
You guys are Canadian, though, right?
Yeah, we are Canadian, yes.
Where in Canada are you?
Just outside Toronto.
Okay, you're outside Toronto, yeah. Well, yeah, so I'm originally from Calgary, which is a very conservative part of Canada, so I'm kind of accustomed to the politics, but still, it's been a crazy switch, and it's strange to release a movie that was financed during a very progressive era in a much less progressive era, and now this movie would probably be unfinanceable, oddly enough. But we are excited for audiences to see it. It feels in some ways like they need it more than ever.
Yeah, for sure.
There's a lot of misunderstanding of immigrants and of queer people, and the movie happens to be about both. Mm-hmm. So it forces you to consider the interior lives of people that it might be easier to dismiss out of hand. So.
Sure, and I think Roshan, you kind of mentioned it already, but just maybe to expand on it a little bit more. I guess kind of a little bit of a two-part question, but how difficult was the film to adapt from its original source? And did you bring any more of yourselves into the film? I know you kind of said it kind of mirrors your own relationship, but was there anything else that it was kind of added in, or just to expand on it a little?
Yeah, so it's based on a play that's been performed since 2014 when it was originally written. And that was adapted by Eric Randall. So the play was by Mother Shaker, and then it was adapted by Eric Randall into a script that was sent to us. That was amazing, in addition to the play being amazing. And we infused it with our own sort of experiences. More than like specific things that had happened to us, it was more that we infused it with our style of comedy and emotion, which is really comedy is Karan and emotion is me. So there were things we added. We made him a doctor because it's such a closeting profession that requires you to deny your own personality in order to do it successfully. And then Karan did things like he improvised jokes throughout the movie, but he also wrote entire scenes, like the wedding planner in the final act is an invention of Karan's. And then also dramatic scenes. There's a scene at the end where the father goes to the gallery to look at Jay's photography, but that was Karen's idea. Very much not a comedy scene, I would say. Very simple.
Well, there's some ass.
There's ass. Yeah.
That wasn't in the script, but that was a discovery.
And ironically, that was added by me. So we switched.
Yeah,
Karen
switched
wrote
there.
the dramatic part, and I wrote the comedic part. So we were all, we're in it, but the strength of the script and the screen and the play is really a credit to Madhuri and Eric. It's a very, very hard story to tell. There's a lot of characters, a lot of relationships, a lot of things to track, and they did an amazing job.
For sure. And obviously, like, it references DDLJ a lot throughout the film, and I guess throughout the play as well. And honestly, like, in a way, I guess it's kind of thematically a little bit of a mini version of DDLJ as well, where you're still trying to achieve that acceptance and not kind of run off or elope or live outside of it. For you both, though, making this like adapting this film and making it, do you have anything that you took from DDLJ itself as you sort of adapted this? Anything around that?
Well, the big thing in DDLJ is Shah Rukh Khan and Kajol can be together.
Yeah.
And she's like, let's just do it. Let's just be together. Yeah. Says, no, not without your family, which is a very dramatic and intense thing to say. But it is also like so Indian, and it's so sweet, this idea that family and love must be reconciled, no matter how irreconcilable they appear. I don't even remember what Amrish Puri's objections are to Shah Rukh Khan. I think maybe he's not wealthy or something. But
he's a bum.
He's a vagrant. Yeah, he's a vagrant.
Yeah,
that's a good point. It's a good concern to have. It's not clear where Shah Rukh Khan is headed in life.
Yeah.
He's got a mandolin. He's in Switzerland. Like, what's the next? But that fundamental thing of not without my family, not without your family, which is literally repeated in our movie. Jonathan says, "Not without your family." Is just such a sweet sentiment. It's such a sweet sentiment that these things all have to exist together. It's not a very Western sentiment, but it's a very Eastern sentiment.
Yeah, it really shone through. And has there been any other Indian cinema or influences or references that you've brought into this work here at all? Or
well, what was really interesting was the final dance at the end was never in any version of the script. And then one of our producers, who's white, it was the same time as we were working on the script that the Oscars that RRR was nominated for the song. And she watched the performance on the Oscar stage and she was like, why don't we do that in this movie? And me and Roshan were like, that's racist. We just gonna dance at the end? Like, that's so... And then she was like, but it'd be so fun. And we're like, it's not fun. It's racist. And then eventually we both were like, but it would be kind of fun. But then Roshan was like, found a way to make it part of the story, which was the scene actually moves the story forward and it really helped for my performance because I play such a shy character. And by the end, the arc is that he's in color and he's openly expressing his feelings and putting himself out of his comfort zone. It's like how far he's come. So it really helped with that stuff as well. And then the final image of the family bringing Jonathan, into them in the dance. All of that felt like thematically we were telling a story versus like end credits dance sequence. So in a way that was inspired weirdly by RRR and that Oscar thing, because it was on none of our minds prior to that we would end the movie. And now it feels like there's no other way to end this movie. Like it feels like it's the only way it could have ended, but that was a weird inspiration.
It's a great thing about Bollywood. They're very good at putting story underneath the song sequences. I think modern American musicals often fail to do that. They put everything down and they dance, but there has to be a story underneath it. In the Bollywood, even not to, there is some purpose to that dance off. I think it's with the villain or it's for the girl. There is a story.
Their love story and
all those people. You remember all those people are like dying during the dance off.
So good.
Like, what is happening? But it's a story. It is a story. Whether it's a real one or not. But I love that sequence. There's a single shot that doesn't cut where Jonathan is led first by the father to the mother to the sister to Karen. And that I think is just so simple and beautiful. The choreographers did an amazing job with that because that's a story in and of itself. There could be no music to it and you would have a feeling about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And it definitely came through as if fun was one thing that you were looking to achieve, it came through. It really told the story continually while being like a really fun way without it kind of feeling separate or other than what the film had been up to that. yeah, no, it was that was great.
I love it. I loved it. I loved it so much, and like the chemistry, Karan, that you have with Jonathan Groff it's amazing. How did you develop that? Did you guys have a lot of practice prior hand or
No, my experience has always been it's like I don't think you can manufacture or develop it in any way. I think elements can help, like score and editing and stuff can help if you didn't have it on the day, but I think it's either it's there or it's not there. And in Hollywood, there's often something called chemistry reads, which are auditions where you're just trying to see if there's chemistry, and there's no way to get chemistry or not. It's just like a numbers game. You just try it and you see if it happens. But we didn't have any rehearsal time. We met Jonathan a year before we shot the movie just for dinner in New York, and that was that. And we didn't even know if the movie would get made at that point. And then by the time we were making the movie, he was shooting Doctor Who in England, so he had no prep time. He flew straight from there, and we were already filming this movie. We were a few days in, and the first scene he filmed was the meet the parents scene, which was 5-6 pages of dialogue, and he was thrown right in the deep end. But in a weird way, I don't know if it was planned like that or not, but what ended up happening was real life mirrored what was happening in the movie, because I had met Jonathan once before, and I was now working with this fake Indian family for a few days. So we had our inside jokes and stuff. And suddenly he was the new presence, and I was like making sure the family made a good impression on him as people and everything. So in a weird way, it kind of that part felt like it was organically working, but between us, it was just that I think we just got along and I liked him as a person. But even that doesn't always guarantee that there'll be chemistry on the day. So you're kind of just hoping and praying that people connect to that. But he is very charming and likable. So I think he carries that pretty far in many ways. Like when he's singing at you on the street, you can't help but fall in love with him. You'd have no heart to like turn that man down.
You have to hate puppy.
Yeah. It's like kicking a dog. Yeah.
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 And then Zarna Garg she's a riot. Was all of her lines in the script, or was there a lot of improvisation?
No, she's playing herself, and only she can play herself. A lot of her lines are "No trees need to be saved." "My only gay son is getting married." "Don't disturb my peace." "Don't irritate my peace." All that stuff is just Zarna. That's not in the script. The wedding speech that she delivers at the end, the banquet speech or whatever that is, that is mostly scripted. I actually don't think there is any improv in it, but almost everything else is improvised.
Mm-hmm.
She's just so funny and inimitable, literally. Like, who could ever be her?
And it came across so authentically as well. Like, just cracking up with some of the things that he was saying with that scene with the handyman building some furniture. It was so funny. All of it was so funny.
Yeah. Roshan's direction to her, which was genius, was just be like, all you need to do is be disappointed in your kids. And she's like, I can do that. And that was just what she did, to the point that me and Sethi, who plays the sister, we were like, we had chills. We were like, are we being disciplined right now? Like, we're her children.
I told her to improvise something where she was expressing disappointment in Sunitha in a scene, like of her career, of anything. And she said, I don't know why we started rolling. And she said to Sunitha, I don't know why you became an actress. What a trash profession, acting. And it was like, Sunitha's not an actor.
No, we were like, not her as a person, her as the character. But like, before we said cut, she got out some pretty wild things. And we were like, oh my God.
Sunitha was just like, oh my God. Zarna had just finished saying that like acting was a worthless profession, and then we were like, so we're in the character. We're in the movie.
She's a lawyer in the movie, and she's like, oh, gotcha.
Yeah, it was so funny.
That feels like a nice deleted scenes extra to throw on there.
Oh man. Well, we really appreciate your time. What's next? That's what we want to leave with. What's next?
We are each doing different things. Karan starred in a movie called Fade to Black, which will hopefully come to festivals very soon. It's really good. I've seen it, but I'm not involved with it at all.
I play it's a Hollywood satire. I play like a struggling screenwriter who's so frustrated with the system that he ends up killing agents and executives, becomes a serial killer. So very different.
Sounds really heartwarming.
Yeah, very heartwarming. Yeah.
Its own kind of sweetness, actually. It's very emotional, weirdly. And then I'm doing an action movie which is crazy, with John Wick producers, that I'm hoping to make this year if I'm lucky.
That's
so So polar opposites.
Polar opposites.
Well, I mean,
I
there
think
still
we're-
seems
I
a lot
think-
of killing involved.
A lot of killing.
The
But
polar opposites from rom-com.
from
Yeah.
rom-coms.
Yeah, for sure. I think we're done with that for a little bit now, right?
Yeah.
I feel like this is the ultimate rom-com, and I see Boy. It's like I don't know how you would top what we did in this. So at least we don't think we can. So switch it up.
So drop the mic, serial killers and action
There
movies
you
with the
go.
John Wick guys. All right.
Yeah. We went from
Yeah.
heartwarming to just murder.
It's the natural path, I think.
Yeah. What?
You guys said it at the top. Like America's different now than it was
Yeah,
then.
exactly. Yeah. 2025, it's time for murder. Yeah.
Mhm.
Thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. We love the movie. Congratulations on it. And all the best on this one and the next ones that we're definitely going to be waiting on with bated breath.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
so
Thank you so much for your support of it.
Yeah. And your support of me, because let's be real,
Yeah.
they've watched it all. They've seen it all.
Yeah.
Someone cares.
I'm putting the new one on my Fade to Black is going on my Letterboxd watch list right now. I'm ready to go.
Awesome.
I always say to Karan, who's watching Miracle Workers?
He's
And,
always
so
saying
many
this about
people.
everything I'm in. I'm
always
telling
like,
you, people
Miracle
are
Workers.
watching it.
Like, who's watching that? And then every day people are coming up to us. People like, I saw you in Miracle Workers. I'm like, what? I had no idea. I really did not know.
It's a great show, man.
Yeah.
It's a great show.
Yeah, I've watched every episode. I've been devoted.
Amazing.
All right.
All right.
Cool.
You guys,
Well,
Thanks so
Thank you.
much.
You take care.
Bye,
And,
guys.
we'll see you soon. Bye.